Hello everyone, welcome back again. This is Suresh from the Automation channel. Today in this session we're going to learn about Python variables. In the last session we have seen how we install PyCharm and created a project. Then we have executed a simple program with the print hello welcome. So now we're going to learn about Python variables. So let's get started. So in Python, representation of any variables is simple and easy when compared to other programming language. For example, I wanted to represent an integers. So to represent integer, I'm going to use this count equal to 100. So this line is what we are doing is we are creating a variable called variable count and we are assigning a 100. So it's going to create Python interpreter will going to create a location. In that location 100 will be stored and that value is a count. Now I'm going to print this. So print count. So we're going to see how the output going to be look like. So you can see here 100. So this is for representing integers. So what if I wanted to represent a floating values? For that I will use MRP. So MRP is going to be 12.5. So I'm going to use this MRP again and save and run. Now you can see 12.5. So this is a floating value. So representation of floating value and representation of integer value. We just used a normal naming convention, and based on the value that we have provided, it is converted that as a float or an integer. So for example, I wanted to represent name. So name is a string, right? So to represent a string in Python, we can use single quotation or we can use double quotation. So you can use double quotation and this is the name, which is a string. So save and again run. Now you can see name is printed here. So likewise, you can represent a Boolean value also. The Boolean value, how we can see, for example, is enable equal to true or false. So I'm going to use false. So here this Python is case sensitive, so we have to use definite uppercase and lowercase. So false is represented like this. So for example, I want to represent this is enable equal to false or is enable equal to true. So I'm going to use the first letter as a capital, then we can write as a true or false. So this is how we represent each and every variable in a Python. And based on the representation or based on the value that we are going to assign to that variable will be acted accordingly. Like hint, float, character, string, and then boolean is based on what value that we are going to assign is representing here. So I'm going to write or update my MRP price to some other value. For example, MRP equal to 14.5. So this is the new value that I want to add or assign to my MRP. So in a Python, each and every line will be a sequential order of execution in Python. So this is one of the interview question also, how Python going to be execute our code. You can say that Python going to be execute our code based on line by line. So now I'm going to print this MRP. So we have a two MRPs here. One MRP is 12.5 and one is 14.5. So whatever the value that is recently updated or last updated, that value will be going to be printed in the console. So let me run again. Now you can see 14.5 will be represented like this. Now you can give a try on your own example. Try to represent employee details. So employee details contains employee name, employee ID, when he is joined. So he has access to enter the room or not, true or false, like that condition you can create and try to represent different variables. And to post your questions, queries, errors in my comment section. I will help you out in there. And this is a small session I planned for this session. In case if you are new to my channel, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.